How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to today's very quick look into 2022 and where we think trouble spots will or won't be, and how we can just quickly summarize what we think the world's going to look like this year. Moving from east to the west, we'll start off in the South China Sea. We don't think that the Chinese Communist Party USA rivalry is going to heat up at all, other than verbally, if even at that, because the Chinese Communist Party is running the Winter Olympics in February, and they've got a big 100th, 20th 5-year plenum Congress, whatever they call it. It's a big ceremony for them. So they're going to keep the stage carefully managed, and we don't expect much trouble in the CCP USA rivalry arena. Moving further west, we talk about energy, focus on the Middle East, of course, the energy, the breadbasket, as it were, of the energy world. And we think energy prices are likely to rise this year because of geopolitics. The mullahs and the supremes, and Russia at all. Oil in general is falling. It's competition. The market is being shaken to its roots. We don't really know. Is supply going to constrict? It's going to increase. It's going to be increased consumption, decreased consumption, green electricity. The energy market, for the first time in over a century, is being shaken to its core. Perhaps, well, just leave it at that. So we do expect prices to rise beyond where they are now. If we move further west, including Europe and the giant U.S. economy, we expect inflation to recede. We think that the corporate profits are rich enough to absorb any price rises that come different corporations' ways, and they can absorb them without passing them on, and thereby fanning the flames of inflation. So we think inflation is going to be fairly under control fairly quickly by probably well into close to the beginning of the second quarter of the year. Prices will probably fall, and remember, it's in the interest of corporations and the stock market and the capitalist world in general, as we have seen for the last 30 years, to keep the cost of credit fairly low. And that's what we have seen. The whole notion of inflation itself is foreign to an entire generation of traders and investors. And this goose that lays the golden egg of massive corporate profits is cheap credit. And cheap credit is a function of we won't go into that entire subject. Suffice it to say, this low credit environment it's not something that the corporate world wants to jeopardize by having inflation. It's not in their interests to have inflation, and therefore they're going to do the best they can to suppress it. So we think that that's not likely to be too fundamentally shaken up, that essential relationship. And then finally, of course, the fourth item is just the jokers in the deck, the usual suspects. The Putins, as I say, the Kims on the Korean Peninsula, the mullah and the supremes. Any one of the you choose, and then that's just the major headliners. There's many other possibilities that could go wrong. So far they haven't really, thankfully, caused any great. Well, I shouldn't say that. There have been many 10,000 deaths in Donetsk. That's not nothing, and we will leave out the Chinese heavy hands, and the U.S. heavy hands as well. Lots of countries use heavy hands, but so you never know what's going to happen. But thankfully, up till now, most of those potential threats have just been potential. So that's a good thing, and that's how we see the world in 2022. So, ladies and gentlemen, we wish you the best trading year possible. We hope that you'll join us together and exploit the many opportunities out there in the world today. Thank you, and trade with confidence, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye for now.